I guess we'll just start with the intro. Hey YouTube, hey, well, who else we got? Twitch, whoever catches this video, podcast slash rant. I guess this isn't ranting gamers. This is just this is just two
Hunters.
gentlemen, two hunters talking about some Monster Hunter. I guess I'll just introduce myself, Solidus from PB Recreations, and the great sword hunter himself.
Solobear, PB Solobear here. You guys know me. I stream on the PB Recreations channel on Twitch.tv. Monster Hunter World specifically, and there is a lot of information we got rather quickly. So we're getting a lot of information about the development of the game so far. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna be talking about.
E3 was like a sidekick of just Monster Hunter news. And even just going off of just a hunter genre, this is going to be pretty bold. Coming back to a main consoles, different type of style for hunting games. Still kind of the basic bare bones of a hunting game, but this may be the first console hunting game that might hit like a broader audience since Monster Hunter's PlayStation 2 times, like 1997, 1998. So I guess this podcast or just rant would be about hunting games in general, Monster Hunter World being the main focus. We'll throw in a little Dauntless. I know Solo Bear played a little bit of it. I played a shit ton of it. So we'll probably throw that in there and see how it fares with what's happening right now in the small community of hunters. But just to kick things off, your first impression of E3, Solo Bear. How did you take it? I need the setting, what you were wearing, how you were feeling, and then pre-emotion and post-emotion.
All right, so we're talking about are we talking about E3 in general, right? Like
No, we're talking about Monster Hunter World
oh, okay.
right now on E3
Okay.
because I know I got the message from you of excitement when you sent me the message. I wasn't even watching
I
the
can't believe
release.
you were watching.
So
But
go ahead.
yeah, so basically, as you guys might know, if you watched the E3 Sony press conferences when Monster Hunter World got announced, and I believe it was the second game to be seen after Uncharted, but or maybe the third. I don't know. But I was home. It started at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I forgot what day that was, but I was actually home. I'm just settling down from work and everything, and I actually was about to stream it because a lot of people were streaming, E3, and they're just reactions and discussing it with their community. And I did not see this shit coming. Like, I, the host of Sony, he was just saying like, here's the next game and this, that, and the third, and then he said, oh, by the way, this franchise holds near and dear to my heart. And then like I'm looking at the Twitch chat and I'm like, Crash Bandicoot, and then everyone was saying like Crash because I was looking at the E3 Twitch chat,
Mm-hmm.
and then like when it faded in and you see him going through the vine and you see the great sword on his back, I identified the great sword. This great sword is not in any other game except Monster Hunter, and I immediately started screaming. I tried to get all my friends in the chat immediately. Like I didn't even care about the rest of the trailer. Like I couldn't believe it. Like I was just at a loss of words. Yeah, I was just like, yo, I think I was so close. I was like, I think I might tear up in this shit. Bro. This is crazy because it's been on Nintendo for almost 10 years. Monster Hunter Tri came out in 2009. I looked it up by Google search, but 2009 is the 2017. Well, the game's gonna be 2018 when
Yep.
it comes out. And it's just like it's
Yep.
about to be on every system other than Nintendo.
Yeah.
And like I'm at a loss of words. I can't believe it.
Yep. That's true.
I cannot believe this shit.
So I didn't know about it until I got a message from him. He's like, "Are you watching E3? Are you are you seeing? Oh, are you seeing this? Are you watching E3?" I responded, "No, Monster Hunter World." I was like, "Oh shit!" So they're finally showing it. I did hint that they did have the IP from it, and I said that earlier in the week before E3 that it popped up on a lot of social networks in the hunting community that Monster Hunter did buy that name and had patent and copyrights to it, and that was probably going to be the reveal. But I assumed it was just going to be a Japanese release. Nope, not at all.
Nah. If they showed at E3, it's kind of like a given that it's Western, and then like I couldn't even like I don't know, I couldn't explain it all in once when I called Solidus. I was just like, yo, yo, another Monster Hunter, and then it was like, it's on PlayStation, it's on PlayStation, and it's like when the trailer was going, it's Sony's press conference, so it's on PlayStation, but later on we found out that it's actually going to be on PC and Xbox One as well, but PC apparently like a month or so later.
Yeah, it's getting it a little bit later. And I think that's the trend right now. We saw that in Destiny 2. We're probably going to see it future going with a lot of cross platform releases. But yeah, I don't think the PC community is going to care too much. It gives people more time to sit there and compare Dauntless and Monster Hunter World. I see it.
Yeah, I personally am like super excited about this because like I don't know if anyone else sees this franchise like its potential, but a lot of people didn't know what the Souls series was. They didn't know the Souls franchise. Like Demon Souls is only on PlayStation 3, and like it didn't become huge until Dark Souls came out, which is on like all platforms or something like that.
Yep.
Like PC. I don't know if it came out PC later, but
Mm-hmm.
Xbox, PlayStation, and then that's when it started to snowball with its community, and then like it started to become like mainstream now. Like now other games are making variations of the Souls games, and like, this like Monster Hunter, it's a hit or miss with people. It hits more than it misses with people, and there's a lot of people who respond in an extremely positive way about this game, and they never played a game like this, and it's like amazing because you're constantly in need of doing something. There's constantly something to do in this game, and when it hits the general market with a game they never played like this before, I mean they're going to be able to, like you said, identify it with Dauntless. But this is the game that Dauntless is coming from, and it's like, and it's a new formula that they're bringing to the table. It's just like an all new experience for everyone.
Yeah,
and I think this has the potential to be the next biggest franchise or genre besides the Soul, from the Souls era.
Yeah, and just going off of that, the last game that hit that struck gold in just gaming in general, what was the last game you were playing with the female protagonist fighting the robots? Robot animals.
Oh, Horizon.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, the format from Horizon Zero Dawn, was story driven, but then there was that aspect of you in the open, in the wild, hunting monsters like these giant beasts, and then forging parts from them to make your weapon stronger, give you different ammo, leveling up your weapon, and things like that. So, technically, when I was watching you play it, that's where I felt it was a very casual hunting game, but it's still an RPG and it's still story driven. But that right there gave it a spark, and I would say that if this would have came out in the same time of Horizon Zero Dawn, or like give it like a little break, I think that this would probably grasp onto a lot of people because of Horizon Zero Dawn and the time they put into it. But it might throw people off because of the fact that it's not an RPG and story driven. But yeah, but just going through it, the you even said this is a whole different game now from our original hunting games that we played and things that we were used to. Map loading every time you go into an area, the world being just a specific mission that you pick. This is changing it. Drop in, drop out multiplayer. The world is one whole system of one whole ecosystem that evolves throughout your time in there, and I find that to be like one of the things that I like. As much as I played the original Monster Hunter, the things that started like getting away from it were when you hide in a bush, when you crouch down to the ground and the monster can't see you, putting down meat to get a monster to get into an area, into a trap. Those were things that captivated me into hunting games, because you literally are hunting technically, and the monster were larger than life, and they felt like they belonged in a world to themselves. But this one, new monsters. I think we're getting mostly all of our same weapons back from generations and prior.
14.
Yeah,
14.
So we're going to be getting that.
Except the Tonfas, but the Tonfas were never in the main
Yeah,
line.
they were. Yeah, that was a weird online type of feel. But yeah, and now we're getting a slingshot. Like, that's weird. I didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't know about that.
The arm gauntlet he has, the thing that can shoot fruit, stones, and it can grapple onto a monster to do the mounts sequences. That's getting new to this one, and that's going to be that's just going to be disgusting. I can already see setups, trap setups, people making style videos like jump off the top. rodeo on top, jump off, and then hit somebody like with a hammer, hit the monster with a hammer or something. I can already see people making like crazy highlight videos of over the top charge move, like great sword slashes and things like that.
Yeah, different
Yeah.
setups like that. And
Yeah.
there was always this one franchise that Capcom had, um, that reminded me a lot of Monster Hunter, but it was a shooter. So it was like Lost Planet is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So like Lost Planet, I'm seeing elements of Lost Planet and Metal Gear in this game, and that
Mm-hmm.
makes it more hype. So you have the mantles, which is the ghillie suit that you kind of see. He puts on
Mm-hmm.
the mantle that he probably crafted, or I don't know how it's going to be. It would be cool if it's something that you craft, but
I think,
um,
and just going off of it, that mantle is based off of like some of like real world military stuff. Like I used to have one. It's a ghillie suit platform, and what you do is just you go into a bush and you start grabbing leaves and sticking into it, and then slowly but
right,
surely. So I think in this one, if you take your mantle into a bush, you actually get that
flexibility.
foliage. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah. That would be sweet, and just that reminded me, and like you said, it is real world, of course, military. But when you see it emulated in a game, you think like, oh, Metal Gear, that's
Mm-hmm.
very Metal Gear espionage, and then like they kind of added that small tidbit in this game, and on top of that, like I was saying before, the Lost Planet reference, the way the heavy bow gun is being used, it's like a mini gun kind of, like it's like you're holding like a mounted gun a
It's
little bit,
scary. I think purists are gonna hate it.
and the sound effects sounded great. I think what they can do, since I don't know if like Lost Planet is kind of like a dead franchise. I don't know too many fans of that game anymore, but they can kind of, I think they should add, not in this game, but maybe in the future of Monster Hunter, add like maybe another gun type weapon where they can kind of like meld the animations and the gameplay of Lost Planet into like a world, the Monster Hunter world environment, or the game, and I think that's going to be something that would be really cool. So when you get the guns, it kind of feels like a lot like Lost Planet, and then like your other weapons, your melee weapons, is more Monster Hunter traditional. Anyway, that's just a speculation thing, but
Yeah.
we're talking about the drop in drop out gameplay now. A lot of people who don't know Monster Hunter, never played Monster Hunter, or just new to the franchise, there's a lot of like disconnection in the old Monster Hunters, and it's either you at that point, you either vote to abandon the quest or finish the quest depending on how far you're in on it. And like now, if somebody disconnects, they just reconnect, and that's going to be really cool. And then they added the little fancy the animation of SOS shooting out the flare,
Yep.
and that's going to be cool to initiate the invite. And also, the map that we saw is only one of
One exactly. That's what I'm getting at. You're when you go
right,
into these instances, because that's what they really are. You're going into a world specifically for that area, but it's almost like Danger and what's his face is on, Game Changer are on, because like I said, it evolves. So what you originally go there to hunt might change over time because other things might be introduced, or that area's realm is owned by, like in the trailer, he leads that, I forgot the name of the new monster, up to the Los Nest, and all of a sudden now you got to fight a Rathalos.
yeah,
So
exactly. And like I'm pretty sure there's. I was talking to viewers as well on my channel regarding monsters that you might see. You said like they're the quest might change depending, and
mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the developers are just as big as a fan of Devil Joe as like a lot of the hunters,
Mm-hmm.
the actual players, and before, when this monster came in, he definitely changed the game of the quest. But now it's just going to be like, oh my gosh, like if he's actually in the game, it's going to be absolutely scary. Like and you can't even, people. I've seen so many people get rushed down and destroyed in Monster Hunter, and those zone, which is because the old games, it wasn't, nothing was connected. So you can actually, it's each level is in sections. So you leave a section, the game loads, and now you're in a new zone of the same level, but the monster's not in this area, so you can kind of heal up and take a breath and everything. Now, if you're getting rushed down by a monster, you can't do that. You literally have to run your ass off
Mm-hmm.
to kind of get away from the monster. I don't even know how that's going to work. If the aggro system is still the same, we've seen people get attacked like 7 times in a row. Like it's gonna be absolutely nuts.
That being said, remember you can still hide in your environment. So if you throw, say you sling and you drop like a boulder onto the monster and knock him down for a knockdown, you can probably just run into a bush and crouch, and you'll
Right.
be good. But at the same time, if, yeah, like you said, if it's a new game, they could add more stuff so a monster can mark you.
Right. And they were talking about the monsters like and tell the AI is smarter now. So I wonder if line of sight is going to be a thing now since there's no.
It showed it. No, it was that was even while he was running past that new monster, you can see line of sight was an issue. The monster knew he was nearby, but never put line of like eyes on him as if he knew exactly where he was.
Right. So like if a monster's rushing you down, then the monster's looking at you to get he's your target or you're his target. Like when you're running away from him, will line of sight still work while he's
yeah,
while he's break a corner, jump in a bush.
Yeah. I would like to think that it will, but like, yeah, new game, new style. We'll see how it goes. And so another thing I was reading, they are bringing the palicos back, but you're not going to be able to play them, and I thought that's pretty cool. That the cats still do have some kind of play into the game, because I know with Cross X, it's pretty. That's going to probably be their last game that you ever see them in.
Are you talking about Double Cross?
Yeah, Double Cross.
I see him in as far as playable. I think. I don't know. I think it's like the cats are definitely more popular than Cha Cha and
Shakalaka.
Cha-Cha. What's the name? Shakalaka.
Yep.
And I personally miss those two, but Coast definitely resonated with the community more than them. So I think that's why they're pretty much returning. But them not being playable isn't a surprise because they're doing, the game is kind of being changed and there's a lot of mechanics and things involved. But I think that I'm happy that they're they're back and we're gonna have some type of system that will help us prep stuff in the background while we're out on a hunt, like there normally is, like a farm, or things of that nature, maybe like a mining area. So palicos are definitely going to be a big help towards how you perform on the site. So,
and since you can stay in the world so long, you think they're going to do like a torch-like mechanic where you can call for your cats to come and grab your gear, and then you continue to keep playing in that world?
Yeah, I think it'll either be that or because they already confirmed that you can go back to your small hut.
Yeah, you go to a small base. Yeah.
And you can actually switch weapons.
Yeah.
In the middle of a hunt now. So it's either gonna have like that, the palico that, like you said, in generations that you kind of like give them the material and they go home with it, or you could just put it in the box and that's considered your main stash.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can kind of continue to play indefinitely until you feel like you need to leave.
Yeah. That's really exciting. All right. Pushing forward, where do you see, because I know a lot of YouTubers, a lot of hunting community, where do you see Dauntless playing a part in this, in the hunting community and the release of Monster Hunter? Because remember, Dauntless is going to probably be, Founders Alpha starts on August. And that's when the world's actually going to get a chance to actually see it. NDA is going to be lifted, and then Monster Hunter early 2018, which we're guessing March, April. So that time span, what's that, like 7 to 8 months? Dauntless will be out there. Do you think, like in the hunter community, it's actually going to hold its own, or is it going to fade?
Dauntless. That's a game that's definitely gonna, and I don't know if they didn't even confirm this from Monster Hunter, but Dauntless definitely seems like a game that's going to patch and add things to it to make it like a better version. They're gonna add possibly a lot of new things that have changed the game up. I think. Well, first off, I'm glad that we're able to play it this early on, and we're gonna 8 months is a lot of time to really sink your teeth into Dauntless and get your full times into that game. But its survivability, I think if they don't do the patches, like add like possible new monsters, a new monster pack, or add a new area, so maybe a new weapon or something like that, and kind of build upon that, then I'm in. Depending on how big, I mean, this Dauntless is on just PC, right? So the Monster Hunter is on two other systems. I wouldn't say it'll get completely swept, but if they don't do the patch system and add like different things to kind of keep the gameplay fresh or just keep a reason to keep going back to the game, then I mean eventually it would fizzle out, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. It was just really bad off of the announcement of Monster Hunter World, following Reddit posts and then just like general statements about like where Dauntless stands towards it, I was like, God, man, there's a lot of casual people out there because World is completely different and we don't know what to expect. But
True, true.
but Dauntless is literally the same formula and foundation that's kept Monster Hunter so successful.
Right, right, exactly.
So
So
yeah, that was one of the things. Yeah, that's one of the things I was always I'm trying to see how it's going to play out because I find myself playing when I'm playing we can't talk about that. We'll just say it's a very enjoyable experience.
you can't talk about the game. Yeah, well, we can say because we've seen gameplay, like they've shown gameplay publicly.
My bad,
But
Jesse. I'm just
characters.
that's the lead developer for it.
What are you talking about?
I said when I said my bad, Jesse, that's the lead developer.
Talking about somebody. Well, you brought up a good point. It has the original formula of Monster Hunter, which they already showed. They showed gameplay that's derived around the original, the formula of Monster Hunter. So it keeps that, like, if people really want a game that kind of
That purest form, yeah. If you want the purest form of Monster Hunter, because you're not getting double cross unless you literally want to sit there and play on, yeah, and do some Japanese.
but there's some veterans of the series is just like, oh, you can walk while eating now, or you can walk while drinking, and they're changing so many mechanics, or they're adding so many mechanics. Is this even Monster Hunter still? Those people who kind of they might, it's a possibility that they might not get that Monster Hunter itch scratched, so they can still play an original formula like Dauntless, or like you just said, Double Cross, and it'll have that traditional Monster Hunter experience.
Yeah,
so that's another aspect.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thoroughly interested in seeing how it plays out within it. So are you still sticking with great swords into Monster Hunter World?
Yes, I will, but and that's another thing I was going to bring up earlier. I think I don't know if I'm going to be doing that whole get every great sword thing anymore, because I play other hunting games. I play other hunting genre, or in the genre, I play other hunting type games. So I play like God Eater, and I play Tokuden, and in each game I try to do the same formula, so I don't kind of get bored with the game. I try to grab as many of the same type of weapon as I can to kind of mix up the hunt. And I don't know. After a while, it starts taking a toll, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But I was always great sword, and then back in the day, like way back in the day, like
Long.
PSP, PS2 era, it was great sword first, and then the long sword came out afterwards. But the long sword came from the great sword. Like there's a lot of long swords that were originally great swords, and then they changed it to work as long swords. But anyway, long story short, um, I use great swords and long swords, but now that you're able to go back to your little hut and just switch your weapon, it gives you more of an opportunity to try out other weapons that you made, and you now it's going to be easier to say like, hey, I went to go fight this monster, but now Barrieth showed up, and I know he's weak to fire, so let me go back to the hut and get my fire weapon that I just made, and it's going to be no load time, easy to just like drop in and come back to the hut, go back out on the hunt.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically we're just going to be using the same weapon. I don't know if there's anything else that I would use, honestly. Not to play the other weapons. They're all amazing, but like, I don't know, I love that great sword long sword experience.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'll probably be playing with everything again. Starting with hammer. I always start with hammers, then I move into gun lances, then I move into dual swords.
I'm not gonna lie though. Generations, like with the whole the different styles.
Yeah.
The hammer was a lot of fun.
Hammer was disgusting.
And you went into like adept, and you get that extra ability.
Yep. It's such a fun addition and experience to it, and especially with double cross, how you get extra moves and you have a new style now. It's just so much added. But reading the article from Gamatsu, they have stressed it, saying that new game, new style, which means we probably won't get those styles.
Oh yeah, we're definitely. Oh, I think that was the play on words right there, new style. But I think we are 100% not getting Hunter Arts, and I'm pretty sure styles are not going to be included either.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
sadly.
would not keep your hopes up for that. But I mean, like honestly, the good news for the people who like to import or the people who want to still play Double Cross, Monster Hunter was never a heavily story driven game. So like you guys kind of know, Google Translate is really beast right now with
Mm-hmm.
translating. You take a picture now. You just take a picture of the screen and it'll translate everything on the screen there. And you guys can still import. Switch is region free. Import Double Cross, or if you have a Switch or if you have a 3DS. I don't think that's region free though. But
No,
yeah, I
you
mean,
you would have to custom firmware or get a region specific 3DS.
well, for the people who have a Switch, that's something that you can import and you can still play that game and take advantage of the Brave style. That's the newest thing
Yeah.
for that game and the Alchemist
Yeah.
style. So
I'll be trying that out. Hopefully, I get that Switch sometime after release of it in Japan. We'll see. We'll see.
that's supposed to be in August, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be in August, but I'm hoping that some kind of special edition Switch comes out, so my Switch
And
purchase won't be garbage.
you're gonna be juggling Dauntless and Double Cross if you do that.
Yeah, it won't be that bad.
Yeah,
Won't be that bad.
nothing wrong with that.
I think all my shooter demographic would hate me, but they'll get over it.
They'll get over it when Monster Hunter World comes out. You get the heavy bow gun.
I won't
Like,
be
listen,
no man. Heavy bowgun is for end game where I just don't feel like getting hit by a monster at that point.
uh, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, the game is just looking extra spiffy, and
Oh, here we go. What about the new voice acting from the behind the scenes? How do you feel about that in the genre? Like, you think that was just there for tutorials, or do you think that's going to be like audio cue monster cues throughout the full game, similar to what you see in God Eater when you play? Um,
oh Jesus.
what do you is that something that's going to benefit the series, or you think that's something that's going to tear away and make the purist either like it or hate it?
Don't I the,
Honestly,
the
yeah.
voice acting, yeah, the voice acting in the tutorial, I think that's really good because a lot of people don't read. A
Hmm.
lot of Americans just don't read, and the voice acting in a tutorial is great, but the voice acting similar to how it's executed in God Eater, no, please do not do that. We need visually, and I don't think they're going to do this anyway. We need visually, you can see when the monster sees you, where the monster's going to be, how to track them, and I feel like there's no reason why there should be kind of some voice acting tutorial person. Maybe if there is, they can toggle it on and off, but I will not be having that shit in my channel. I can't because it, it unless you're new and you want that, I think it would make the game kind of easier after you know how the game works and everything, and just I, a lot of people like listening to what I'm saying versus to actually if you played God Eater and you know how often not want that. Trust me, you can toggle it on and off on God Eater too, though. But I
Yeah.
got used to it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, that was something that when I heard, I was like, ah, that's not gonna be good. I'm not a big fan of I'm a Monster Hunter purist, but not an extremist. So seeing that added kind of makes it feel like casuals need that much help. But
I just think they don't read, and I think it's a good
yeah, it is. But I was always a fan of throw them to the fire, let them learn that the
Oh
hardest
yeah,
way
and that's
possible.
why everyone liked the Soul series.
Yeah.
Nothing was said in that
Said
game
it.
when you
Nothing.
played.
Yep. You understood that in that first 5 minutes you just got wrecked. You come back and you're like, oh, I got to go back get those souls that I just lost, and then I got to make sure that I don't get wrecked anymore. Oh,
Before
I got
that,
wrecked
it's
again,
like
and then rinse and repeat.
it's like you're talking about just the boss battle aspect, or just probably just an area. That game is just like when they just drop you in the world and you're kind of just like walking around killing shit.
Hmm.
You realize like okay, you're told that you obviously have to explore, and there's a sense of the need to survive in
Yep.
that game. Like no matter what, you cannot die. So
All right. Yep.
that is, and eventually you'll run into a boss that is going to be like the difficulty spike. But that's how old Monster Hunter was. The hardest thing in Monster Hunter for me to do when I first played Monster Hunter Freedom 1 on PSP, hardest thing in the game, I shit you not, was making well done steaks. That shit was so hard. No, it was not explained to you how to make that. It didn't even tell you where to find it.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I can see that. I can see
How
that.
young? How I don't know how young I was at that time, but like
I can
barbecue
see
spit,
that.
I'm like, okay, cook with this raw meat. Oh, okay, I see the raw under the barbecue spit. It looks like it's lit up now. I can probably use it. And then the little jingle comes on. I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And like, I burned like I don't know how many sticks I burned at that time. It was terrible.
Yeah, I
And
was.
like the quest at the time was deliver 2 well done steaks.
I do specifically remember seeing. Remember doing that quest for like the PlayStation 2 version, and that one actually had audio, not audio cues, but the tutorial old guy from Kokoto Village would go, "Meow,"
Oh yeah.
and then it'll read it and it'll tell you at the end of the song, you'll see the color change, and then
Prime
yeah,
example of American not reading.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know if they did that after that. So that's a really good point. I would have to go back and check that because I don't remember anything walking you through how to make a well done steak.
I don't, not so much maybe in the quest, but definitely in the town. You talk to
Town.
everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm
About
saying.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I did not read in that game. I went to the quest. Okay, delivered this. All right, cool. And I was on that quest for 50 minutes trying to make steaks.
What do I do?
Why is it burned? This shit is well done for like half a second.
Why are they forsaking me? Yeah.
Like, I'm a beast. And then it took me a week to kill Kutku.
Yeah, that's another thing. I understand they need to show a new monster, but they should have just opened it with Kutku. Like just
They gotta show you a new monster though.
I guess so, but that's not going to be the poster. That's not going to be the highlight monster.
They might bring back deviants. You never know.
They need to give Devil Joe a cover, like
Nah,
a
man.
full cover.
They gotta make new monsters. I'm expecting at least half of this Monster Hunter roster to be new monsters. And that's another thing, guys. Monster Hunter, it's about the monsters. All right.
Yeah.
The new monsters are basically the new character. Every new Monster Hunter, it's like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
What new characters are gonna add? It's like literally what new monsters are we gonna see? And
Yeah.
because every monster is a new dance.
It's a new personality, new dance. You still gotta see what it does when it gets enraged. You gotta see what happens when it's in its deviant stage or when it's in its G rank stage.
Are they even gonna add G rank in this game?
Oh no! I mean, they didn't talk about rank system. They didn't talk about how they're going to do it. But I do feel that the more you play, the harder it's going to get. So, or more areas open up. That'll be pretty cool.
I wonder if they're gonna revise mining, fishing, or capturing bugs. Like if it's just gonna you press the button still, or is it gonna be like are they gonna add a new mechanic to it?
Right. That's a good question. It's on the console now, so they can do whatever they want. I think I would see them doing it very, very in depth.
Somebody said that they saw like the way you carve and take the piece.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there's like a little capsule you hold, and you kind of put the piece in there.
Yeah, you scavenge it in, and they did that on the dead body, on the carcass.
Okay.
When you're gathering now, it just seems that he's putting it into a vial of some sort, and then putting it back into his hunting bag, which I guess that's cool. But
yeah, people didn't actually like that, but it makes sense to kind of whatever that vial is, you drop it off at the hut thing. And
yeah,
I think that the hut might be able to do a lot more things there.
Yeah, I can definitely see that being like a half a town. Like it will give you, you'll be able to do like what you could do in town, but like maybe halfway through some of the stuff.
Oh my gosh, if they have a blacksmith there,
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you can do that. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't think you can get a blacksmith there. That would be too powerful for the game. That's too easy. Way too easy.
Nah. It's think of like every map as a server at that point. Then like drop in, drop out is already in the game for multiplayer. It's just like, all right, hey, what's up? What's going on, guys? Just got home from work. What are you guys doing? Oh, we just hunting some Rathalos or whatever the hell this new monster's called, and we're in this area because he spawns every so often, or there's some other stuff I want here, other mining materials, and then like there's the blacksmith is there.
Nah, man, what RPG? Nah, treat it like a regular MMO or an RPG. You gotta take that thing back to a town, and a specialist has to work on it. Doesn't matter what it is.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. All right, that's fair, yeah, because it can't be. Yeah, okay, I get you saying.
Yeah.
But we definitely gonna get a bed. All right, we getting fucked up out here. All right, Farcaster better still be in the game. And you laughing at that one time.
Yeah.
But anyway, Farcaster is definitely gonna be in the game. We definitely gonna have a bed back at the hut. You want to save up. You want to provision your healing items. You go sleep real quick. Come back and you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm really happy. But yeah, just for I guess we'll just wrap it up because right now, like that's it. Like the hunting community is gonna get a really good what we can call this gourmet of hunting games coming up. Every flavor, it's what a time to be a hunter.
They Maximilian was talking about fighting games. He says the fighting game apocalypse because it's like so many games are coming out.
Yeah,
and if there's so many now, there's gonna be a lot more later.
I've been following an indie one too. I'll link it to you later.
Oh, you talking about the indie? What the indie? What?
It's like a cyberpunk feel fighting game that's coming out.
Oh, okay. Real quick on the hunting though, since we're still on it.
Okay.
There's another game coming out. A lot of people probably oversaw.
What are you, Code Vein?
Hunting. There you go, Code Vein. It's supposed to be hunting, but it plays like some Dark Souls. So it's Souls meets Souls cross hunting.
Yeah.
So that's something that you guys can look out for, and that's what I was talking about. An amazing game comes out, other developers make their iteration. Now we're having what's about to say? It was a joke. I just ruined it. But
Renaissance.
Anyway, we're having a hybrid of genres clashing together, and it's gonna be great.
Oh, you like a homunculus?
No.
You get going.
I was biracial.
What? What? That is weird.
by genre.
There you go. Or just say a multi-genred game. I don't know. By genre sounds really funny. I like that one better. I do like that one better. All right, so I guess we'll do the usual YouTube ending. If you guys like the video, if you guys like to see more of these videos, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you guys comment down below. I'm Solidus2 from PB Recreations, of course, and
I am Solobear, Solobear, PB Recreations as well.
So yeah, guys, this will probably be our first of like the series, I guess. If this becomes a thing, if you guys want to hear more of this, or want to be a part of this, or would like this on a live stream, let us know. But for the most part, this is, I mean, we had to talk about this. This is something that's near and dear to both of us. This is how we met as friends. So this is something we have to talk about since it's been such a huge game changer to the series and genre.
I think it should hit the tube though. It's just like something that should be on the YouTube, and if the Twitch people want to watch, they go to the YouTube and
you let them decide. You don't.
It'll build from there. But yeah.
You let them decide. You let them decide.
The wheel of fate is turning, guys.
Let them battle. But yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for all the support and love. What do you got? What do you got coming up, Solobear? You got anything special coming up for the stream?
Stormblood, Final Fantasy Stormblood, Final Fantasy 14 Stormblood. We're supposed to both be on that.
Come on, man. Why don't you let me get into my part? Why'd you have to spoil it?
My bad.
People don't know about me getting on Stormblood.
For all the people who don't know, Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO, and their biggest expansion is basically out for early access right now over the weekend, and it comes out the 20th, which is basically in 2 days. So you just get early access, and we are collectively supposed to be on Final Fantasy 14, and that's like the biggest thing.
Yep.
Hunting wise, I have a small little group of people on my channel who want to play some Ragnarok Odyssey Ace, which is
that's what I saw. ROA, yeah.
Yeah, I have a Vita TV. It's ready to go.
Good. That'll be cool. Another thing I can watch. But yeah, just like you said, I'll be getting on Stormblood. I don't know how where I stand because I gave up on Final Fantasy during year 1. Before year 1.5 came out. So
you didn't do Heavensward?
No, I didn't finish my Heavensward stuff. So that being said, there should be a vial that you can buy to clear all quests to catch up.
Oh, really?
Not sure. Not sure.
They added more since I stopped playing, and I stopped playing towards the end of the Heavensward content, and they added more story that I actually experienced.
So depending on that and whichever, I will probably have to be grinding out from year 1.2 through Heavensward into Stormblood. So I have a very long journey ahead of me, so I hope you all will stay around to enjoy that horrible sitting of questing. But yeah, that being said, everybody, thank you so much for coming in. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Make sure you guys comment below, and definitely hit that sub button if you like this content and like what we're doing over here at PBrec.
If you don't like it, just don't thumbs down. If you don't like it, just leave.
All right,
If you
yeah,
don't like it, just
yeah,
don't worry about it. All right.
yeah.
Tell us how we could be better.
You leave us a Yelp review if you don't like it. Don't even post it in the comments. Just Yelp review it and then tag us in it. I don't know, man. I just wanted to make it sound funny.
All right, go ahead.
That was it. You kind of ruined it. But all right. Later, everybody.
I started saying that. I started saying that in my videos. I said if you like it, give it a thumbs.